All right. Excuse me. So this week we're ready to go here, and we're taking the sites that you built last week for your professional site. We're going to take it to the next level this week. So if I come over here and click on week 12, and then actually I'm going to close this so that we have a better view. I thought I was going to. There we go. And so this week, you're going to look at doing the web quest. We're going to finally get into this. This is the big project that we've been kind of building up to. This is the culmination. We're going to start working on it this week. It's going to take a couple weeks to get through all this, but feeling pretty good. We're just going to do it a little bit at a time and build up to it, and it's going to be pretty awesome. So this week, you're going to learn about the structures of a web quest and some of the design elements. Your work during the week is going to be to start on your web quest. Don't stress. We're just going to start on it. Do some reading in chapters 8 and 9 in Reinventing Project-Based Learning, and that'll really help you out. So here we go. The week ahead. While reading Reinventing Project-Based Learning, pay attention to the spotlight on page 133, and then you're going to look at what degree your project that you've been talking about on the wiki page has the essential ideas of the EAST model. Use your responses to tweak your project and post a quick reflection to the class blog. So what that means is you're going to look at what we posted in the wiki, and after reading this spotlight and when you're familiar with the EAST model, and then just post a quick reflection like these are the things I need to change, or these, I'm just feeling pretty good about it, or whatever. It doesn't need to be a huge post, but I don't know, probably 300 words or so, just explaining how the EAST model applies to your project, whatever. It's just a quick reflection. Then to work on during this week, here are the resources for your final project, and be sure to look at WebQuest Part 1 and Part 2. This is a two-part rubric, so here's the first one. And if you want to go beyond all expectations, your task is described here. You'll notice that the process is in two separate columns, so it's double the weight. So be sure to really focus on that process, right? Roles, evaluation, conclusion. Let me go back here. And then part 2, we're also going to be looking at your introduction, how you create your web quest, the navigation on it, the teacher page, your technology integration, and project-based learning. I want to focus on these last two just real quick. The technology integration is you included 3 or more engaging 21st century skills. That is, if we look down here, beyond PowerPoint or Word doc and web searching. You need to go beyond that, and it says a Word document in here. If they do something in Google Docs but it's not a collaborative thing, it's basically a Word document. So, and then the project-based learning, that's a great book that you've been reading, and we've done a little bit of research and we talked about it some. So, the student task, remember, if for it to be a web quest, it has to be different. You can't know what it's going to look like before the students do it. You can have a general idea of what you want them to do, but if they're filling something out or you're telling them exactly what they're going to do, it's not going to be a web quest. And if there was a great quote, and I retweeted it, I don't know how many of you are still on Twitter, but if all the students' projects come out the same, you've given them a recipe, not a PBL unit. So be thinking that whatever your final product is, how the kids produce it could be totally unique, even though they're all working towards the same goal. Okay, so be sure to refer to that often. So basically, this week your task is you're going to create another Google site, and I would create one page for each of these right now. So on the first page, you're going to write down the task. If you click on this link, it'll take you here, and you can just type in, this is the easiest way to do it, whatever your keywords are. So let's say you wanted to do something with division. And you can, that's going to be probably mathematics, right? And you can choose some grade levels or just leave it blank and search the standards. And what this website does is it pulls up all of the standards for you, and you can see which ones you can quickly see which ones might apply to what you want the students to do. You're going to want to hang as many standards on your web quest as you can. So describe the culminating final project. What is it you want them to do or create? You're going to draft a rubric. We did that in class. So describing the final process and any important responsibilities. You're going to organize the steps for the process. So what are the kids going to do? 1, 2, 3, or first, second, third. Don't get too hung up on that. Right now, this is all just, we have a couple weeks to finish this, so we're just getting started. So this is an outline of the process, an outline of the roles, an outline of the introduction page, and an outline of the teacher page. Right now, probably none of that makes much sense to you. When we come down here, this nice fellow is Bernie Dodge. He's the guy who created WebQuest, and he's going to talk to you. Each of these videos is about 4 minutes and explain what WebQuests are. Since he's the man who created them, he's the guy to listen to, okay? That's going to give you a much better idea of what the WebQuests are. And then we're going to come down here and you're going to practice by visiting the WebQuest page at SDSU here. And when you scroll down the page, you're going to complete the WebQuest about WebQuest activity. In order to do that, you need to select the grade level of your choice, read the introduction, the task, and the process both process steps 1 and 2. Print out the process handout. I would seriously suggest you print up one for each role, so print up 4 of them as you go through. Being able to take pencil to paper really helps. And then you're going to rate the WebQuest. And doing this is going to really give you a huge understanding on how to do it. If you have, I know some of you guys like to work together, so if you want to do that, 2 of you, collaborate on doing that, it's even better because then you can have a great discussion. Here's the WebQuest page. And if you scroll down to this WebQuest about WebQuest, you can choose whether it's general elementary, middle school, middle high school English, blah, blah, blah. My background's in elementary, so I'm going to choose this. And here's the process worksheet. Read through these things, and this is why you print 4 of them. You're going to look at a WebQuest as an efficiency expert. You're going to look at one as an affiliator, the technophile, and the altitudinist. And then come down here and you'll pick one of these WebQuests. And then you'll look at this purely as the efficiency expert. When you print up the worksheet here, you'll see the efficiency expert, and you're going to look at it through that lens. You're going to go through this WebQuest looking exclusively for, whoops, where'd it go? You're going to look through it exclusively as an efficiency expert. So you'll read through that and you'll look at it through that lens, okay? That's what your job is for this week. This is probably going to take you at least an hour to do all of this, to help you plot out your time. This could very well, actually, to do these 2 sections is probably going to take you 2 hours, an hour and a half. To do this stuff is probably going to take you, to create your website and create these 8 pages, will probably take you at least, I would say at least 3 hours. And then I don't know how quickly you read, but you have a couple chapters to read in the textbook and get thinking about that. So that's probably at least another hour or 2. And then your blog post, and I would suggest when you do your blog post right here, you also include a link to the site with this outline on it, this frame, and you'll be good to go. Okay, of course, if there are any questions, email, Twitter, or text me.